Hi, everyone. I am live right now. I think 0 people are on, but I'm in my office and I will wait for some people to join. Hi. Hi, Jess. How are you? I see you just joined. So I'm in my office right now. I didn't get to get home in time, so I'm just doing this from my exam room. So I guess it's a good opportunity to show you guys around. This is, let's see. Oh, never mind. Oops, I didn't mean to do that. Okay. Hi, so this is my exam room. Let me kind of show you where I am. So this is where I see patients. And I will be talking today about doing a nighttime skincare routine. And nighttime is really important because the night is when your skin repairs itself. You wash off all of your makeup and sunscreen and pollution and other junk from the day, and you give your skin a moment to rest without any UV exposure. When you sleep, you have increased blood flow to the skin. And increased blood flow allows better absorption of any products, and it allows better regenerative ability of the skin. So in people who don't get enough sleep, you can see sometimes that their skin is more sallow, it's not as healthy, because sleep is really important for skin's regenerative strategy, I guess. And so the things that you put on your skin at night should be well thought out, because this is an important time, and this allows you to pick things where you can get really good exposure, really good absorption into the skin, and if you choose them intelligently, then you can really help your skin's health, wake up with more of a glow and more healthy moisturized skin. So I'll be talking about a few products today. I will start with just a really nice thick moisturizer, which is from the Better Skin Company. This is the Better Skin Amaze Balm, and I chose this because it's just a really nice thick moisturizer with a lot of really nice emollients and moisturizers. And when you sleep, your skin can get a little dried out, and that's because you're not drinking water over the night. Your AC might be on, your heat might be on. All of those things can dry out your skin a little bit, and so it's important to put a nice barrier moisturizer on at night. And this is a really good one for that barrier type moisturizers. Moisturizers can be one of 2 forms. They can be humectants, which are moisturizers that draw water into the skin or draw fluid into the skin, and hyaluronic acid, honey, lactic acid, those are humectants. And then there can be emollients or occlusive moisturizers that protect water loss from the skin. And because the sleep is such a good time to sort of repair the skin, you want to make sure that you have a really nice, great skin barrier before you go to sleep, so it doesn't dry out. You can help absorption of any of your products, and wake up with nice, hydrated, plump skin. So this one has a ton of oil. So an oil is a type of occlusive moisturizer because it kind of coats the skin with a little thin layer that helps prevent water loss. Oils, fats, fatty acids, all of those things can help, and this has a lot of those avocado oil, sunflower oil, coconut oil. It had shea butter, so a bunch of really thick, nice emollients, and the texture of this is super thick and creamy. So it's good for I think in the summer it's a little thick to use during the day, but it's perfect for the nighttime. And then in winter you can use it anytime. So I will show you the product. It has this just like very sort of creamy feel to it. And it's kind of nice and thick. And so it's perfect to sleep in. It also has a few things that are sort of anti-inflammatory that are nice. So it has sea buckthorn, which has some natural antioxidants. It's a berry that has vitamin C, vitamin E, and antioxidants help repair damage that UV causes throughout the day. UV causes some damage to the skin cells that create what are called reactive oxygen species. It's kind of like irritating, damaging pieces of oxygen that pollution or environmental exposures can cause, and that's why antioxidants are used to neutralize those and get them out of the cells. Beth asks for older skin, which is better, occlusive or hydrating? I think ultimately you need both. And it's nice to find things that have a little bit of both in them. And so you may want to find something like a hyaluronic acid serum or something light that has more of a humectant property, and then apply some nice, thick, occlusive moisturizer over the top if you're feeling really dry. And so this would be one that you would kind of apply kind of over the top of everything as your last step to sort of keep water in, keep any actives that you put on, occluded from evaporating. So it has sea buckthorn, which is has a lot of natural antioxidants, so that helps you repair damage, which you do during sleep anyway. Melatonin is actually an antioxidant, so as you get higher levels of circulating melatonin, you get some repair of the skin and some neutralization of those reactive oxygen species that were created throughout the day. And so, adding on antioxidants is a nice touch. And then it also has evening primrose oil, which actually one of my attendings in residency would recommend to a lot of patients as a natural remedy for rosacea, because evening primrose oil has very soothing properties. Rosacea is an issue for any of you who have it, where you get kind of red, irritated skin very easily. And so evening primrose oil is a very calming ingredient and a soothing ingredient. So that's actually something that we use in dermatology sometimes as a natural kind of anti-inflammatory. Danielle says, hi Danielle. So what goes on before this? So I'll get to that. So any kind of like actives can go on before this. This would be the last step. I probably shouldn't have done this one first. But retinols, alpha hydroxy acids, vitamin C's, things that you want to apply to this, medications, things that you want to apply and get absorbed will go on first. This is not necessarily to get this can be the only thing you use, and you'll get some absorption of some of these ingredients, but this really has a lot of, fats and oils to help occlude and to give you better absorption of any actives underneath. Would you apply this near your chin? Michelle asks. I don't see why not. You can apply this anywhere. You can apply it to your neck. You can apply it to your chest. You can apply it to your body. It's just like a nice thick moisturizer. I don't know what's special about the chin. Well, if your pores get very clogged, so if you have very oily skin, sometimes applying things that are very thick and oily and have waxes and fats can be a little bit more occlusive. And so you may, if you have very oily, acne-prone skin, you still have to keep a good skin barrier, but you may want to use kind of like thinner moisturizers. So if your pores get very clogged on your chin, I might avoid this in that area. I'm not saying that this is going to clog your pores, but having a thick, creamy moisturizer is not always great for people with sort of acne prone or oily skin. But don't put it on the top. You can put it on the top of your face only. Yeah, definitely. Okay, let's get into like some actives that you can use at night. So the most important thing that pretty much everybody should be using is retinol at night. So a retinol is a vitamin A molecule, and a retinoid, which a dermatologist can prescribe, is a retinol-related molecule. And a retinoid is often much stronger than a retinol, but a retinol is still an amazing ingredient. That's probably the best topical ingredient that we have in skincare. Retinol is a very small molecule that absorbs into the epidermis and stimulates the keratinocytes, which are the skin cells, to turn over a little bit more healthily and a little more rapidly. And because it does that, it stimulates kind of a thicker, healthier epidermis. It causes more skin turnover so that your pores are not getting occluded with sticky, dead skin. It's turning over faster so that your pores are getting cleared out. Any hyperpigmentation that you have, where your melanocytes will deposit melanin granules in your keratinocytes with sun exposure, are going to get shed faster, so it reduces hyperpigmentation. So retinol is an amazing ingredient that causes a lot of really good anti-aging properties. It also stimulates it, so it goes into the nucleus of the cell and changes the way the cells are programmed to kind of behave in a healthier, sort of more youthful way. It helps prevent wrinkles, helps prevent sun damage, helps with kind of regenerative processes in the skin. It can only be used at night because it's not a very sturdy molecule, and it can be inactivated by UV light. So we always recommend using retinol at night. But nighttime is a perfect time to use it because retinol is going to stimulate those regenerative properties that happen at night anyway. You actually have retinol, which is vitamin A, floating in your bloodstream as it is. It goes into the dermal vessels and then is absorbed by the skin cells in the epidermis from the dermal blood vessels. So you're getting retinol from your bloodstream anyway, and then applying it to the skin also gives you absorption from the other direction. And you really can't have too much of it as long as you're not getting irritated. So retinol can be very irritating. So this product encapsulates the retinol, which allows better absorption without irritation. It's in an oil base. Retinol is a fat-soluble molecule, so an oil base typically works better for it. And the oil acts as its own sort of moisturizer. So when you combine retinol with moisturizer, you're much less likely to get red and peely, which can happen when you first start using retinol. With any retinols or retinoids, I always recommend to patients to start slowly, twice a week at night, and then you slowly build up to 3 times a week, 4 times a week, 5 times a week, until you can tolerate it every night. Some people will start using it every single night and notice that their skin is a little bit red and peely, and then feel like, oh, it's too irritating for them, they have an allergy, but they don't. Eventually, your skin will get used to retinol. You just have to go really slowly. And so if you get red and peely from it, you just stop for a few days, let the skin recover, and then restart slowly. Beth asked if the product is good for skin brightening. For sure. So skin dullness can come from, I think of it, as being from 2 different things. One is kind of sticky, dead skin cells that don't exfoliate well from the stratum corneum, causing sort of like a dull texture and reduced shine. And then the other one is from little spots of hyperpigmentation, like little tan sunspots and freckles that you get from sun damage. So retinol addresses both of those things because retinol causes increased, healthier turnover of the skin that's going to prevent the stratum corneum from holding on and staying sticky and dead, causing like little dull and scaly patches on the skin. So that reduces the dullness in that way. And then it also turns over the cells faster. And so a lot of the cells that have too much pigmentation from sun exposure are going to shed. And so you get reduced hyperpigmentation as well. So in both of those ways, retinol would be considered brightening. Retinol is really like almost a panacea in dermatology, because it really is a very effective and does a lot. Brightening, kind of enhanced skin turnover, anti-aging, anti-wrinkle, anti-sun damage. So it's really something that most people would benefit from using at night. With rosacea-prone skin, you have to be careful with a retinoid. A retinoid is a much stronger version of retinol that's prescription. But with something like this product, which is oil-based, lower potency retinol that's encapsulated, it should be gentle enough for sensitive skin. So you can use a product like this. So if somebody has rosacea or sensitive skin, I will direct people to using an over-the-counter retinol that often has combined hydrators like an oil in order to help help the tolerability of it. So I think I'll go on to the final product, which is this one here, which is called the Alpha Peel. And this one is another allows us to talk about another group of actives, which are alpha hydroxy acids. So alpha hydroxy acids are fruit acids. They're mostly derived from fruit, sometimes derived from other things too, but glycolic acid is the most important of the alpha hydroxy acids. Lactic acid is probably the second most important. Others are mandelic acid, and some others. But glycolic acid is the smallest of the alpha hydroxy acids. So glycolic acid is going to get the most absorption. Glycolic acids and other fruit acids are chemical exfoliators. So they are going to, like I said, as you get older with sun damage and age, you get sort of a sticky stratum corneum where the dead skin cells just don't shed that well. And that's why you might use exfoliators. You can use physical exfoliators, which you want to not use super often, where you're manually scrubbing the stratum corneum away. But the best and healthiest kind are the chemical exfoliators, which are the alpha hydroxy acids, which break up the second layer of your epidermis and cause shedding, so that you're kind of releasing all of these scaly, dull areas of skin and sort of revealing new sort of healthy, glowy skin. This product has 8% alpha hydroxy acid. So that's a great percentage to use that you can use daily. It's not super strong. In the office, we might do peels of alpha hydroxy acid that are 30 or 50 or 70%. But for a daily use, 8% is perfect. And alpha hydroxy acids, especially glycolic acid, has been shown to change the structure of the dermis to have more collagen, more thickness, more hyaluronic acid. So basically plumper, more hydrated skin. So it's actually a really good anti-ager in addition to brightener. And this one has a lot of different kinds of alpha hydroxy acids. They're all different sizes, so they absorb differently. So, for example, glycolic acid gets the most absorption because it's the smallest molecule. The lactic acid is the second smallest molecule. It gets a little less absorption. Then you have citric acid, which is in this, some other fruit acids that are going to be more superficial, a little bit less absorption. And so you're getting sort of like alpha hydroxy acids at all layers. But I think, this is a great type of thing to use at night because you sort of wake up refreshed, more glowy. You've had that sort of chemical exfoliation. It's not so strong that you're peely from it, like an in-office peel. But it's a really nice product that I've been using recently and really like. And then there is research behind using alpha hydroxy acids and specifically glycolic acid that show that you get this dermal hydration when you use low percentage regularly. So you don't need in-office peels. You can use at home 8% just regularly, and you get that more plump, hydrated dermis, which is kind of what you want. You know, as you see wrinkles as you age, what you're noticing is a lack of collagen and elastic fibers in the skin. It causes more skin laxity. The skin doesn't bounce back as fast, and the skin is thinner. And so you start to get these fine wrinkling from thin skin. And so anything that increases the thickness of the dermis is very helpful. You know, we can do that with dermal fillers where we inject hyaluronic acid directly into the dermis or subdermal areas. But anything that we can do that increases thickness, which alpha hydroxy acids do, that's really helpful for anti-aging. So this product has alpha hydroxy acids or glycolic acid that stimulates thickening of the dermis. A retinol can also thicken the dermis and also the epidermis. So a thick dermis and a thick epidermis is kind of what you want. That's what young skin has, and older skin has thinner epidermis, thinner dermis, more atrophic looking, more wrinkly, fine wrinkles, more sagging. So you want like a thick, elastic type of skin. Beth asked if you can use this alone at night. And you definitely can. You don't have to put moisturizer on it over the top of it. You can just use it alone as a sort of like a little peel that you do at night. You put it on. You don't have to wash it off. You keep it on overnight. You don't even have to wash it off in the morning, but you can. And that way you get sort of absorption all night. It doesn't make, JRH asked if it makes you red. It doesn't make you red at all. You just look a little more glowy in the morning. It's not high enough strength to give you redness and peeling. It's just low enough that you can use it daily without any redness or peeling and still have the benefit that we use in the clinic of glycolic acid. ZZY asks if this is live, and it is. Sophia asks if you can use it before bed. Yeah, so again, I went over this a little bit in the last week, but I think people like this, you know, in terms of the order of putting things on. So after you wash your face, you want to put things on that you want the most absorption first and that are not going to include other layers. So, you know, you might layer things that are very thin at first to get, you know, if you want to layer some actives, and then you would put some moisturizer over the top. So like lately, I have been washing my face, then using this alpha peel, let it dry. It's very thin. It absorbs quickly. Then I'll put the retinol oil on. That leaves a very thin base of oil. Still allows penetration of the retinol. And then over the top, I will put the Amaze Balm moisturizer to sort of lock in those actives and prevent transepidermal water loss that you can get overnight. Hi, ZZY. So I guess, you know, sort of to you know, crystallize everything, you know, the nighttime is really important. This is a time when you have increased melatonin levels, you have increased blood flow to the skin. So your natural endogenous retinol is going to be going to your skin anyway. You have increased blood flow, increased oxygenation. So it allows your skin to heal from the day and from UV exposure and other exposures that you get from the day. Because of that increased blood flow, you get better absorption of anything you put on your skin. So if you kind of don't need to use anything or don't want to use anything, you can just use moisturizer and, you know, allow your skin to do its thing, but preventing any water loss overnight. But if you want to use actives that can help with anti-aging and other, you know, sometimes acne or other things, you would use the nighttime as a time to get really good absorption of those products. I think retinol and AHA are kind of a no-brainer. You have to be careful if you're going to introduce them both into your regimen right away. You want to probably alternate at first. Make sure you can tolerate it. Make sure you don't get too sensitive. I'm used to using retinols and retinoids and alpha hydroxy acids, and so I can combine both of them at once and I don't have a problem. But if you're just starting these things, then you have to be a little bit slower, and you want to sort of introduce things into your regimen a little bit carefully, because all of them are, have potential for irritation. But most people, as long as you're not getting irritated, will benefit from alpha hydroxy acids. It really helps with acne, reducing comedones, which are blackheads and whiteheads, helps kind of reduce dullness of the skin, which can come from kind of a sticky stratum corneum that's dry and scaly, or from hyperpigmentation, which you get from sun exposure. And then retinol is similar. It can help prevent dull skin from that dry, sticky stratum corneum. It can help shed pigment faster. It can help thicken the skin, which helps with anti-aging. So a lot of really good benefits. And you want to find one that, matches your skin in terms of, how much irritation you get and how sensitive you are. So something like the one that I mentioned here, is super gentle, effective still, but that encapsulation makes it sort of absorb without causing too much irritation. Some people can tolerate much higher strengths. But I think I'm, almost out of time. I'm happy to take any other questions. Otherwise, great talking to you. Thanks, Beth. Thanks for tuning in. Next week, I think we're talking about body treatments. So I will see you guys then if nobody has any other questions. Sophie asked, maybe I can post steps on my profile. That's a really good idea. Maybe I'll make a little diagram and post that, because I think people find that really helpful. So thank you for that suggestion. All right. Well, I'll see you guys next time. Thank you so much. Bye.